Hello my friends, welcome to Breakfast with Sergio, episode number 364. Today let's talk about when things get too complex, when you feel stuck, maybe it's time to go back to the basics. Well my friend, welcome back to Breakfast with Sergio. Super happy to be here with you once again on my table, on my kitchen table. This is where it all started, 364 episodes ago. Breakfast with Sergio started here. And let me tell you something. Over the last 3 years, as I've been creating this show and bringing, all this content to you, my friends, watching on the other side, I realized that around the episode 300 or something like that, I started to wanted to improve, getting it better, to looking at for ways to improve the show, ways to get better at it, ways to just changing and shifting the content as also social media changed and all these other things change. And well, in the process of doing so, I have come to realize that I feel like I got stuck. I feel like I got to a point where, I wasn't really enjoying making the episodes as much. And perhaps you have noticed that, the Breakfast with Sergio show has less of a frequency. And that is because, I feel like I lost my mojo. I feel like I lost my enthusiasm for showing up and talking to you about, the things that are happening in my career as a Breakfast with Sergio. I mean, I still do it with all the content that I create, the short form videos, the podcast, etc., etc. But Breakfast with Sergio in itself, which is kind of something that started here on this table 3 years ago, 364 episodes ago, I had kind of lost the love for that, to tell you the truth. And I actually took a little break here and there, and I would come back and make a few episodes and then be gone again. So I just stopped. Last couple of weeks I've been thinking about this a lot, and thinking about maybe for you, if you feel like you are right now in a season where things are becoming too complex, things are just becoming too difficult, you feel stuck in your career, in your art, in your studio, whatever you may be at, you're not enjoying the process as much. Maybe it's time to just take a stop, take a whole stop, just like I did, take a whole stop and really think about what has changed. What was the point in which things became not as enjoyable? So when I look back at Breakfast with Sergio, I think when things became less enjoyable is when I started to make changes. Like I actually have a really beautiful video set, production studio where I can turn on the lights really easily and change color backgrounds and have amazing lighting and everything else, beautiful microphone, great sound equipment, and everything works really great. And I started to do videos like that, and I went to vertical format too, because all things were changing, and I tried to do quick Breakfast with Sergio episodes in less than a minute. And I think that's where I started to get lost, sidetracked on the tech part, on the algorithm, trying to fit with the algorithm part and all these other things, where Breakfast with Sergio lost its mojo. It wasn't the same having just my cup that said Breakfast with Sergio on a flat, beautiful blue screen behind me. Those were great, I think, for quick 1 minute reels or less, but not for Breakfast with Sergio. Because breakfast, I feel that breakfast is the time when you sit down and you can have a quick chat with somebody, right? That's kind of what it all started. When I talk about Breakfast with Sergio, episode 1, if you go back 3 years ago, which was in March 3 years ago, you look back, like I said, 2019, I think, you look back and, I was really inviting you to come to my table and have breakfast with me. And I had lost that. I had totally lost track of the whole purpose of Breakfast with Sergio. So I am coming back. I'm coming back to the basics. I'm going back to where it all started. So my friend, if you're watching this episode 364, I'm back. I'm back where it all started, back to the basics. I mean, there's nothing better than beautiful light, not the one that comes from, really nice studio set, but the one that comes from the window, the one that comes from the sun, the one that is free. And where my breakfast is always here, it's always fresh, where I get to eat it after I'm done with my video, and where I have my drink right here, which by the way, I don't drink coffee. I don't know if you did not know this, but I don't drink coffee. It's always some sort of juice or a green smoothie or something that I make for myself. That's what's on my cup. And my friend, so the question is for you, if you feel right now that maybe you have overcomplicated things. Maybe that's how you feel about social media. Maybe that's how you feel about your studio. Maybe that's how you feel about your art career. where you feel like you're stuck or you are overwhelmed, maybe it's time to stop, go back in time to where you feel excited, where you felt that you were really had your mojo, going for you, and see what it feels like, see what it was like. And maybe it's time for you to go back to the basics, to go back to your kitchen table and start all over again without overcomplicating things. And that's exactly what I plan to do from this point forward. So I'm reclaiming myself, I'm reclaiming my ground, I'm going back to the basics, to what it was all about. So my friend, as I close this episode, I want to ask you, what does that look like for you in your studio, in your art career, in your marketing, in your personal life? What does going back to the basics look like? Think about it, ponder on this, and I hope you take action, my friend, because there's nothing worse than going through something, getting a realization, and not taking action because you are afraid of the results. So don't be afraid of the results. Everything can work just fine. As I'm going to end this show and go back to my breakfast. So thank you, my friend, for watching. Do me a big favor, share this episode with your friends. And if you would like to work with me in my coaching program, all you got to do is go to theartistnextlevel.com, and I'll be happy to help you take your art career to the next level. Have a good day, my friend. Goodbye.